Hello, everybody. Welcome to a rather special series that I'm going to be starting up right now. Rimworld. I, of course, am Sir Bedian, and as some of you might know, Rimworld has just within the last 24 hours released the new Alpha 13 version, which includes a fair amount of new uh, mechanics. Um, the Alpha 13 is of course is titled "Trapped with Your Ex." One of the biggest things that it introduces into the game is, of course, relationships. So colonists, prior to Alpha 13, colonists were basically um, solitary, self-contained individuals that whose only real interaction with other um, colonists were um, arbitrary conversations and fights when they get into mental breaks. But now they can have actual families and actual relationships, social relationships at that, which includes friends, rivals, family, enemies, chats and arguments, and of course, actual fights, as always, because there wouldn't be drama without it. And Rimworld is all about the driver and the drama. This is a little bit of a step in the same direction as Dwarf Fortress, of course, but you can, very often see the influence of Dwarf Fortress on Rimworld. Um, and so now colonists will basically have memories and they will remember about situations as to how they will form opinions about other colonists and how they will act. Um, Families will apparently extend out all the way beyond even cousins, so you will have fairly complex and interconnected family webs, I would assume. What's very interesting, of course, is that the family is one thing, but up until 13, Rimworld, the only way to get colonists on Rimworld is, of course, to either buy slaves from slave traders and set them free, or capture prisoners from raids. Some mods have allowed you to recruit prisoners um, from wandering traders and wandering well, other factions. Uh, but of course, now, now, apparently, according to the patch notes, colonists might be able to actually reproduce, which is going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. Because a while back, Tynan Sylvester, who is basically started the whole thing, um, one of the things is that he made several comments that reproduction of colonists themselves would not be a thing, but now with 13, it looks like that might not be the case anymore. So we'll see how that actually plays out. Um, there's also now that is also going to make a serious impact on mood, and bad mood and mental breaks are, a fact of life of Rimworld, but we'll see how those play out as well. There's also, in addition to relationships, prisoners now won't just sit back and wait to be recruited or harvested or executed. Um, they will now attempt to break out, work together, and fight their way out of your colony. There's also various animals, and animals can hunt now as well, which sounds excellent. And you can also set up how colonists respond to threats. So previously, if somebody started shooting at them, unless you specifically told them to take up arms and took control of them, they would just continue to do their job and then get absolutely shot to hell. That might not be the case anymore. There's also an improved economy with various low and high tech production and research buildings, and a few other buildings and stuff like that. Some looks like some of the construction resources have also been redone as well. And as well, and we also have a whole heap of miscellaneous changes. One of the most interesting, of course, is that one of the big problems with RimWorld in previous versions is that colonists would get sick and then they would go lie in bed. And because they lie in bed, they get no joy. They become totally joy deprived and then they have a mental break. Because they don't get joy for 3 to 5 to 7 days, a mental break is pretty much guaranteed, which means they get into fights and then your colony goes to pot, especially when you get multiple sick people. But now, two new changes: colonists can now visit sick people in bed, and sick people in bed can now watch TV. That should hopefully stop the constant mental breaks that sick people have, and it's going to be very interesting to see that. So that'll be excellent. There's also a lot of minor changes, but we'll see those as we actually play. So let's get to it then. So we'll just create a new world because I haven't actually played the new version yet, which sounds very interesting, but looking forward to it. And we'll set up a mid-sized world. There we go. All right. So we've got here. So let's have a look at the biome. So we have, of course, the tundra biome and the boreal forest biome, which are, of course, was that's weird. There's a desert biome inside the tundra biome. So not sure exactly what happened there with the with the world gen. Now, of course. Tundras can get deserts, but they're usually frozen deserts. So, kind of strange. The temperatures are, of course, low, with the average temperature in summer being only 18 degrees, which is in line with everything else. So these might be tundra deserts, so frozen deserts. It'll be interesting to see if this is sand or ice, but we're going to play something a little bit more sane, I think. So we have proper desert over here, and there's a new biome as well, extreme desert, where apart from the heat, but yeah, it looks like there's just overall a couple of degrees hotter as well, and the rainfall is drastically reduced, less than 60 millimeters, just under 60 millimeters of rain on average. Um, so that will be kind of insane to work in there as well. Very, very challenging. Arid shrubland, of course. More desert down here. We got some temperate forest and more arid shrubland, and another tundra down here. Mountain tundra, kind of weird again. And of course, the tropical rainforest and temperate forest down here. So we can see here temperature map. It obviously gets warmer as it goes further south, which is as usual. Rainfall map. We got a rather heavy rainfall down here in the forests, as expected. So it's going to be interesting. I'm happy with this enough. For our Acubins, let's go. So we'll start a new colony. This is unmodded, of course, completely vanilla. I'm not sure any mods have actually caught up yet, but you can have a look yourself. And we have our usual three storytellers, Cassandra Classic, Phoebe Chillax, and Randy Random. We'll be doing with Cassandra Classic, of course. Now, the reason why I prefer Cassandra Classic over Phoebe Chillax and Randy Random is that Cassandra is a bit more of a balanced storyteller. So Phoebe is nice, but it can be a little bit more difficult to get colonists, or at least it used to be, mainly because you get a lot of time between raids and things like that. So we'll take Cassandra, but we're going to run her at rough. So a bit above base builder, but about a middle level. So we'll take her. This is the world for point 13, so we'll select that one. Okay. Now, the next thing we need to know figure out is where are we going to set up our where are we going to make landfall? Wait, is that tundra? Oh, it's tundra. Cool. Must be because it's so high. Those would be mountain peaks. I'm thinking something more temperate. Not down here in the shrublands and not necessarily in the rainforest, but something with a year-round growth crop cycle and mountainous is all right. Slate and granite are good rocks. Um, Granite's very solid. Slate's very solid. And there's not too much variation. Got a decent amount of rainfall, which means that fires are not going to burn forever and ever and ever. And we've got mountainous, which means that we're going to get plenty of stone and good natural fortifications. And temperate forest is just fine. Average temperature is also very tolerable, so we're not going to be freezing or burning to death on a regular basis. There is an Outlander town down here, though, which is very nearby, so we're probably going to get... oh, it's not year-round. What happened to year-round? There we go. There is an Outlander camp, so there will be room for drama there. Okay. We're going to be using a relatively large map, simply because my computer can handle it, so that's fine. This is a new thing as well. It's permadeath mode. So permadeath mode is a single save file, and if you screw up, tough luck. I'm not going to turn it on simply because if there's a bug or a crash, because there's almost always going to be bugs after a big release like this, I don't want to potentially destroy the entire Let's Play. So we're going to select it, and let's pick our characters. So we have here Ian Braddock, who is good with animals and medicine, growing, art, and research. He's ugly, but steadfast and a heat lover. So it's going to be pretty good for his temperature, because our temperature is a little bit on the warm side. He can't do social. He's not very social. He can't craft or firefight or clean a hall or mine. But he's going to be good as a farmer. And when farming is a little bit on the low side, he can work on research. So that's not bad. And he can be a specialist doctor as well, which is excellent. So I'm happy with him. Yut. Neurotic psychopath. That's also a green thumb. We already have somebody with growing, and she can't do firefighting or any kind of violent action. So I'm thinking maybe no. We'll re-randomize. Male. That's fine. Dislikes women. Okay, so we have two socially inept guys. I do want somebody with a little bit better crafting skill, because we need a crafter and a builder. Let's randomize until we get somebody along those lines. Well, what's interesting is that you get to find out their health here as well, which is cool. Okay, crafter. 4 and... Huh, he's gay. Righto. So he will be a pretty good crafter, and as a backup researcher, that's pretty good as well. Backup doctor as well, which is excellent, and he's social, which is fine. We'd have almost no shooting skill or aptitude though, so that's going to make it a little bit problematic if we take him along. He's also got the mental break threshold of +12, which I'm not very happy with. So, re-randomize. We run him. 77, no thanks. We don't want to bring anybody just too old, because they're going to be essentially dying soon, so re-roll. 51's not too bad. He's a good shooter. Decent medicine. Building, but no crafting. Building, mining, growing, art. Not bad, I guess. He's got Bloodlust, but he is also a Pessimist. Pessimist isn't too bad. He can't firefight, which is interesting, though. I'm a little bit reluctant, because after we get everything built, he's not really going to be too useful. But you know what? We'll bring him along. And Valara. She's about the same age. And crafter and artist with good shooting. So this is actually pretty good. She can also be the chef, but I'm a little bit concerned about having our chef and our crafter be the same person. Uh, but you know what? The game will almost always give you a fourth character relatively near start. I find that um, a new person joins usually within the first year. They just wander in and join. So hopefully that person will be a good cook or a good crafter that we can uh, reduce the load on Valara. But for a starting colony, it's good to have somebody that can do both. What's excellent is that we get an immediate bonus in our relations. So we can see here that Naharis and Kim are going to be lovers. So they get a 35 bonus to their opinion of each other right off the bat. That's going to be excellent. And poor ugly Ian over here, he's going to have to. He can be on his own, so he can live with the plants. Yes, he can live with the plants. So these two get to live together, and he can live with the plants. Okay, let's go. Crazy plant man. All right, got a map. Hopefully, don't crash out. There we go. All right. So the usual entrance. Awaken this crypto sleep sarcophagi to sound the sirens ripping metal. Get to the escape pods. Crash land. All right. We'll pause real quick and let's have a look at the map. We'll start from over here. Um, got a few little areas. Yes. Nice and open region over here. There's a few little nooks and crannies. But what's excellent is that we have a few little entryways into an absolutely colossal mountain. Um, this mountainside is going to be fantastic because rooms deep inside mountains tend to remain a more neutral temperature compared to the outside. That's one of the changes in 13, which is excellent. Ooh, ship chunks. That's a new thing. We'll have a look at those. Oh, grizzly bear! It's a bear! It's a bear! Oh, new animal. It's a bear. Um, what other new animals can we find? Can we find any other new animals? There's another bear over here. Another chunk of ship. Some deer. A turtle. What else? What else? What else? Can we find anything else new? Oh, what's this? Oh, the boom rat got a graphics upgrade. Now it looks a bit more like a boomalope with the two little lumps. That's going to make it a little bit more apparent than that it's a boomalope and not a squirrel. Because in previous versions, squirrels and boomalopes, boom rats basically looked like red squirrels. A cougar. Cougar got an upgrade. Actually looks like a cougar now. Awesome. Um, any other interesting animals on here? No, it looks like that's about it for now. Compacted machinery. Righto. Okay. That probably shouldn't appear inside as a mineable thing, but whatever, we'll roll with it. Um, we can pretend that a ship crash landed here and all the and these are just like um, fossilized chunks. Yeah, let's do that. But I think I'm going to set up a base here because we have steel, we have some machinery that we can mine directly. We have a little bit more machinery over here, so we have plenty of steel and machinery, and we have a nice little open area where we can do initial farming, and this will provide a very good fortification point that we can focus on, and a little bit of water. Not that it really matters, I guess. Um, take a quick look at the architect. Nothing new here. Nothing new there. All of our structures are useful. Now this is interesting. A crafting spot. A place for crafting simple things like shivs or bows. That's interesting. Yes. Nutrient-based dispenser being available from the start is also interesting as well. But we've got the butcher table, the electronics tailoring bench, uh, with a sewing machine for rapid tailoring of clothes. Can work without electricity at 40% normal speed. Oh, that's an interesting mechanic. Because one of the big problems is that you get these powered benches, and when the power cuts out, then your entire project basically goes turns to muck. The fact that it can work without power but at a reduced speed is awesome. Um, a hand tailoring bench, so it's cheaper than an electric one, and it works at the same speed as the electric one unpowered. So that's interesting. Sculptor's table, an electric stove, and a fueled stove. So an electric stove is obviously electrical powered, whereas a fuel one is wood fueled instead. That'll be interesting. And a simple low-tech research bench. So that's cool. We got some beds. Double beds and royal beds are going to be very interesting now because people who are in relationships can actually sleep together, which means they only need one of these for the two people. So we're going to be building a steel bed and a double steel bed once we have the steel for that. Um, Anything else interesting at the moment? No, that's fine. For power, we got a solar generator and a fuel generator. Um, Consumes wood for fuel. So on one hand, we have power that's only produced during the day. On the other, we have power that's produced by wood. So probably would be worthwhile to get a combination of both of these. So mainly solar and then maybe a few wood fuel. But we'll see about that. Security is the same as always. Miscellaneous. So we've got the tool cabinet as usual. A grave looks more like a grave now, which is cool. A marriage spot that it designates a spot where marriage ceremonies will take place. Spectators can watch from either side. That's cool. I'm presuming that marriage ceremonies might be able to take place even outside of these spots. Um, but I think this tells you, like, do it here as opposed to out in the wild where animals can get you or whatever. And then party spot. So we're definitely going to get those. We've got a bunch of floors, a little bit of joy, and temperature control as well. It's nice that these are available from the start, as a lot of times they're not. Okay. Work is same as always. Kind of weird that we only have one firefighter, but oh well. Uh, let's set up manual priorities real quick. So, patient, firefight first. Be a doctor. We're gonna do patient 2 actually. Bed rest. Rest in bed to recuperate from non-immediately life-threatening medical problems. That's cool. Okay. So this is probably going to be like when they're actively bleeding out or potentially about to kill you things. Whereas bed rest, we can put them on 2, and that way they won't spend all day in bed. That's cool. We'll do flicks as 1. Warden will be 3. Animal handling will be a focus for you. And you can cook as a primary and hunt. We're just going to clear these out real quick. We can see what's what. Okay. So Naharis, she was a cook and crafter, so she will focus on that. Okay. So she'll cook and hunt first. Actually, no, she'll cook first and then hunt second, and craft second. Kippy, who is our builder, will build and repair first, and then hunt, grow second. Actually, no, we can use twos. Yeah, we can use twos. So cook first, craft second, and then hunt if nothing is available. No, grow if nothing is available. Yeah, hunt and grow. Kippy will build and repair first, mine third, hunt and grow if nothing else. And Ian is just going to work with animals. But if there's nothing to do on the farm, then he'll work on research. But that's not bad. All right, cool. Restrictions. So we still have just these and allowed areas. Obviously, we're not going to care about them right now. This is all the same. Assignments. These are how to react, ignore, attack, and flee. Excellent. Cool. So now they're going to run away instead of just trying to wander through enemies. Awesome. These are outfit controls, which are as usual. Animals as normal. What factions do we have? The Terrifying Crabs, a band of pirates. A band of pirates called the Whip Organization. A tribe called Vera Trunca Camboa. Another tribe, the Legua of the Hill. And an outlander town of Father's Cliff. That's the one that we saw a little bit closer. So these are all enemies of each other a lot, but they're also we have three that are hostile to us. But these two might wander into town, and we might be able to do something about them. World map, yeah, we know that. A history, well, we don't have much of a history yet because we haven't even landed yet. Statistics, the same. We need a research bench, but we'll have a look at that once we actually have research bench. But multi-barrel weapons, ooh, miniguns. That's cool. We'll have a lot of fun with that, I think. Okay, let's go and land on this here planet. I'll just tag these as available real quick. Do we have crash land steel? Yes, we do. There it is. They'll pretty much always start with a little bit of resources. And here we come. All right. So we will allow the packaged survival meals and the medicines. Oh, look, you can change how they react right here. We don't have to go into it. All right, social. So it looks like we get a 25 bonus for crash landing together, which is nice. And of course, these two are lovers, so they're going to get a massive bonus with each other. That's good. So they're not going to get into fights immediately. All right, so we have a shooter, and melee. So we'll give you the knife, and we'll give you two the rifle and the pistol. Anything new in here? Nope. And health, that's fine. All right. And we have a husky. We have a husky. All right, and that's owned has a bond with Kippy, so it looks like Kippy is the master there. We'll do obedience. Yes. Obedience, haul, and rescue. Yep, that's fine. A female husky, age 3. All right, so we've got that equipped. Let's work on setting up a base. So it's going to be in here. Let's go to structure. Oh no, wood is first. I want to chop some wood. Get all these trees cut down so we can have some wood so that we can start building things. And we need plant cutting. Now, Naharis is not doing anything at the moment, so I think we might set up... No, not yet. We only have one hauler. That's going to be a potential problem. Yeah, that's going to be a potential problem. Hopefully the new guy that we get is going to be a hauler. Um, zone. We need a stockpile, so we're going to put it here for now because we can't grow on this rock anyway. And just bring anything. Chop the tree. We have some steel wool over here that we can look into claiming. And some free steel. Alright, we've got some wood. Let's start work on a wooden wall so we can fortify our base. Wood is, of course, not the best thing, but it'll do for now. And we want 2 entrances, one here, so that if this one is sieged, we can come out this side, and if this side is sieged, we can come out this side. Oh, looks like they're talking. Oh, had a nice chat. How very nice. But, Kippy doesn't seem to like Ian very much. Ugly, minus 30. We're going to have to work to overcome that real quick, I think. I've almost got all the wood down. It's nice that this one here, these didn't get marked because they're not really grown just yet, so wouldn't get very much wood out of them anyway. Alright, so the biggest problem at the moment is that our builder is also our hauler and cleaner and grower. So Kippy is basically going to be run ragged at the moment, really. At least until we get some farming done. So I think we'll set up a growing zone right away. Can we set it up here? Yes. Good. We only have a few people, so we don't need too much right now. Let's grow some strawberries, I think. Strawberries can be eaten raw, which is why they're a little better than potatoes. But we will set up a growing zone back here for actual potatoes. Okay, working on that. We'll deconstruct this ship chunk, see what we get out of it. Woof woof. Still waiting to deconstruct this. Let's speed up a bit. Here we go. Alright, we've got 8 components and 30 steel, so not very much, but I suppose it's something. Alright, our fortification wall is almost ready. Just get some wood. There we go. Now we are going to expand the no roof area over our growing zones, which is good. Better make it a little bit larger. There we go. All right. Next, we need some production structures so that we can feed our colonists. So what I'm thinking is, this is going to be our security zone. I want to dig this out. Actually, let's do a little bit of planning. So this is going to be growing. We want food production to be nearby. I'm thinking if we expand this out, we can put food production here. We can put a bit of a kitchen and then maybe air conditioning back out through a channel here. That would be pretty good. And then production we can put over here, and then habitation here. Yeah, that doesn't sound too bad. So we'll go ahead and mine out a section here. There we go. Alright, boys and girls, get to work. What are they doing? Ah, survival meals, yeah. I think we're going to set you as a miner on 4. That way we get a little bit extra mining done. She's not going to be very good at it, but it's an extra square every once in a while, so it's fine. We'll set up a crafting spot real quick. Put it here for now. A shiv, a club, and a short bow. So, yeah, not really worth it at the moment. Steel butcher table. I'm thinking we get the butcher table and the stove here. And considering it's only 2 extra components, it might as well get the electric one. Because we have a few components here. Woof woof. Gonna need food soon. Do we have anybody doing animal handling? Yeah, we do. As priority above growing, so it's fine. Oh, progress bars. Cool. That's new. We now get progress bars when they're mining things. That is excellent. Alright, we'll make a wooden butcher table at first. Let's make it... I think if I put the wall here, I can put it here. Yes, I'll put a butcher's table there, and we'll put the stove on the other side, I think. Yeah, we'll put the stove on the other side. We also need some power as well, so power and battery, but we need somewhere to put it that's undercover right now, so we'll deal with that momentarily. Animal sleeping spot, we'll put that over here for now. And a wooden bed, we'll put that here. And the double bed here. Just for now. Just speed up through the night. Alright, what's doing? He's eating. Okay, eating and eating. They really should be dragged a little bit closer, I think. Who's the hauler? Kippy. Yep, just bring him back home already. That way they don't have to run as far to get it. I'm loving all the progress bars. Oh, they're going for a walk together. There's boomalopes. Definitely want to steer clear of them. Anything interesting wander into the map yet? No, not really. Oh well. Okay, we have a butcher table now. Butcher creature forever. Make kibble. Raw meat and plants makes pet food. Alright, cool. Let's not put insect jelly in there. Uh, you have just 3 of them is fine. Cancel these real quick. We need that stove right now. But we need something with power first, so let's make that solar generator before we do anything else. I'm just going to stick it here for now, because we have some sun inside. So, there we go. Find out that, though. Oh, now this is fantastic. Look at that, you can relocate it without uninstalling it first. That is awesome. That is definitely awesome. Alright, we got ourselves some power. Now we need some batteries. We need to put them under cover, so put them... where? I don't know, we'll figure it out. Electric stove goes first. We'll put that there. And now we'll put a wooden wall here and here. And a wooden door here and here. And that will be our kitchen. Excellent. Before we get to work on before we get to work on our production section, I think I'm going to plan out mining for the habitation. So we want initially 4 rooms, I think. So 5 by 5 should be fine. You know what? We have a big mountain. Make it 7 by 7. Nice big rooms. Here we go. 6 of them. That means that we have a lot of location. So we'll dig straight through, but we're only going to dig out 2 rooms right now.